Hey everyone, this is StarCraftDad and welcome back to StarClass. So today we're going to be doing something yet again a little bit different. Last time we took a look at this replay sent to us by CmdrTallon, and we're going to be looking once again briefly at this replay to get a benchmark, and then we're going to see if we can improve upon the Banshee Rush build that he did. So you can see I've already preloaded the replay so I can fast forward quickly to where we want to be to get kind of our first benchmarks. So if you remember, his build was to build, or his goal was to build 2 barracks, and a factory, 2 starports, build 4 banshees with cloak, and then send those to his opponent. And he is playing against Zerg, so this is kind of a Zerg specific build, perhaps, but we'll see how we can improve upon that. So have him cruising along here at 4 fast speed, so here he is building a second barracks. So one thing we had talked about was putting a second barracks here instead of the supply depot, kind of switching that order around and see if we can pump out just a few more Marines. And then pretty soon he'll be going for his factory. So he went orbital first before factory. And then he's waiting a little bit while for his factory. So his factory's at about 5 minutes. And then he's not supply blocked, but he will be shortly here, and building a tech lab at his barracks that he doesn't really use that much. And let's kind of get an idea for the timing when this first. So his first starport at around 6.5 minutes. And then we'll slow this down. Okay, slow down, speed up, slow down, speed up. Okay, so he's building 2 tech labs. So we talked about he only really needs 2 tech labs, he doesn't need 3. So we might be able to delay these tech labs from being built until while the starports are building. So we'll try to keep that in mind as well. And let's keep going. Alright, so first starport done at 7:23, second starport at 7:26. So at about 7.5 minutes, write that down, 7:30, he's got 2x starports. And from this point on, it'll probably be a couple of minutes before he gets his banshees built. So we'll just keep cruising along here, 2 starports, building away. So we're going to look for what time he has his 4 banshees and what time his cloak is done, and we'll kind of use that as our benchmark. So that's 2, and cloak is being researched, kind of keep an eye on that. And his 3rd banshee, and then cloak is almost done. So his cloak is done at 10:30 and is moving out with his 3, and this 4th banshee is basically out. So at 10:30 he has his 2 banshees, 2 banshees plus cloak. And now let's take a look at this army at the front, because that's something that he's been working on as well. He has 17 Marines and looks like just 1 Marauder. 1 Marauder. Okay, so now and that's kind of our benchmark. So we're going to look at the 10:30 mark and see if we can get these banshees and cloak out sooner, and see if we can get a larger group here up at the front. And so let's get a move on there. So we're going to go ahead and quit this replay, and now we're going to jump into a custom game. Well, I think that was on Shadow Temple. Another thing that we let's double check here. Yeah, Shadow Temple. So another thing that we want to do is we had suggested scouting. Shattered Temple, the Shattered Temple. Here we go. So we had talked about that he should scout, so we'll try to include that. So let's we'll just pick a medium and we'll do Zerg just to kind of give us the same feel. And here we go. Now, just as a side note, this map, Shattered Temple, is available if you go back to the map selection list. You'll notice that some of these maps have a star next to them. So the star means that you can play this map in the starter edition of StarCraft. So that's a free edition of StarCraft. It lets you play on a handful of maps. So you could actually, in the starter edition, you're allowed to play Terran. So you could do exactly what we're doing here using the starter edition of StarCraft. So the Starter Edition lets you play custom games, so you could do a custom game against the computer on Shattered Temple, which is what we're doing here. So pick, we'll just do medium and Zerg. It doesn't really matter what the computer's doing because we're focused mainly on what we're doing as Terran. So we'll go ahead and start this game. So we're looking for 730 2 starports or 1030 2 Banshees with cloak. Okay, so we're getting started. Got my hand poised over Control F1 to select all non-working SCVs. Okay, so first thing you'll see is that I'm rallying to these minerals. So it's more effective to have your SCV spread out between your minerals. And starting on that second SCV right away. The other thing you can see is I've got my command center hotkeyed to 1, so I can just press the 1 key and get right back to my command center. Okay, so building SCV, so we're going to be looking for when this mineral count gets near 100. So usually sometime after 9, you're going to be getting there. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and move him down. Yeah, see, I could have moved him down just a smidge sooner. See, I had 100 before he got there. So if you go ahead and get him moving down a little bit sooner, you can get that supply depot started sooner. So there's some micro changes here. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go over some resource management here. So the maximum output of minerals and gas that you can get is to have 3 workers on each of these things. 1 worker will get you 50%, and 2 workers will get you 80%. So it's better to have 2 workers on 2 different minerals than to have 3 in 1, for example. Okay, so we're getting near close up to 150, maybe wait a little bit longer. Okay, so our first goal was to build 2 barracks. Okay, so we'll send him down. So that's another thing that you can do to speed things up just a little bit, is to go ahead and start moving your worker towards the place he wants to be before telling him what to build. So in this case, I could go ahead and start taking the worker off the line.
What's going on?
I'm gonna cue him back there. Go ahead and take the worker off. Oh, silly me. Okay, I told him to rally back, but instead he, because this was up. So we'll go ahead and start building range so you can see I'm already behind here. Okay, so I'm a little bit behind here. My gas, which was that was kind of a mistake. I'm gonna go ahead and hotkey these barracks to 2. So every time I hear, was it lock and loaded or something like that? 2. Okay. Alright, so we are near supply block. That's going to be a problem. Okay, so now we know we're going to need gas pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and get some guys off minerals. And just continue to be pumping out SCVs. Okay, well how close is he? He's alright.
Additional supply depots
supply block, see, yeah. So, supply block's the problem. Well, as long as we're supply block, we might as well go ahead and upgrade this. Oh! And then we're going to have just enough for a factory pretty soon. So you can see here I'm trying to use hotkeys to keep things moving. Come on, 50 minerals, bam. And I should probably rally these guys to a place that makes sense.
Who wants some?
Okay, who wants some? There we go. That's the thing we need to do here.
Upgrade
Okay,
complete.
upgrades complete. Alright, so we need okay, so we're going to need 200 gas for when this is out. So let's try to put another guy. So now we got 3 on both. We're going to try to get 200 gas right when this factory is done. Oh, see, you can see they're getting in here. So if I was a little bit better, I would have had Marines out here to stop that.
What's going on? In the rear with the gear.
Okay, and then we can go ahead and start our tech lab. And, yeah. Okay, let's bring this over here. And go ahead and build that.
Go ahead.
And let's go ahead and build a bunker here. We need to seal up this wall, but we don't have a barracks there anymore because we're going to try to hide these Banshees back here. So as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and actually, I could use this factory as a wall there instead, but that's okay.
Gangway.
So let's just go ahead and put him down. Okay. Alright. So you can see here, I'm gonna lift these guys up, lift them down. And you can see here I'm supply block. That's going to be a problem. So instead we're going to pop down an extra supplies there.
Additional supply depots required.
And get these Banshees going. So now we got our 2 Banshees up. It's 647. That's pretty good.
Good job, huh?
We're going to need minerals. We're going to need 300 minerals as soon as those come out. And we need enough minerals to start researching cloaks. So we've got quite a bit of gas here, so we can go ahead and start working on getting minerals. And oh, a little late on my cloak. So I could have hit that cloak a little bit earlier, so which doesn't matter. I mean, like we said before, I just need the cloak to be finished. And here I am just horribly not making Marines at all. That's just horrible. We just need the cloak to be finished.
Not enough minerals.
Oh. Okay, well here comes that first push from the medium opponent here. Oh. And they're gonna hold out. Let's back these guys up. Put them inside here. And let us get away. And there we go. Okay, so a little bit less supply than we wanted. But let's keep our Marines building. And our cloak is almost done. And we've got our 2 Banshees coming out. And you know what? I did not do any scouting. Let's go ahead and send an SCV out. And let's go ahead and send a Marine out. Yeah, so a little bit better. Not as bad as much as I would want, I think. Okay, and then this is almost done. And we'll go ahead and do this. So it actually cost me something to put down these extra supplies. Okay, so we know he's not there. I'll go ahead and start moving the Banshees over here to the right just in case that's ready to go. And not there. Okay, so let's go ahead and take these Banshees and move them down. So we've been to the 2 bases. We know he's going to be down here. Let's go ahead and bring them back here. So I've rallied them over to this far side of the base. It looks like he hasn't, you know, I can bring this Marine down here and see that he hasn't expanded yet. So that's where we know where that is, and we keep these guys going, keep building Marines. And we're almost at that 1030 mark. Let's go ahead and build that. So yeah, so you can see I'm so focused here that I'm not able to keep up with supply. And then these Banshees are ready to go, and they can do cloak. And we can start taking out these Hydras, which are really things for air attack. And so we see at 1030 we have our, let's go ahead and get these out so we can count here. We had 11, and we've had plenty of Banshees here. So yeah, there you go. Little delayed on the tech labs, and it allowed us to build Banshees much sooner. They actually arrived at the base at 10:30, ready to go. So yeah, there's a little bit of improvement on the build that Talon sent. He said that he was practicing this, so I'm sure he will have hit that same marks that we did just fine. And so I mean that's pretty good, you know, to be at someone's base at 10 minutes, 4 cloak Banshees plus stuff at home, ready to go. And you can see that, you know, the economy's been moving along. We did get supply blocked a couple of times. That could actually speed this up quite a bit if I was more on the ball with the supply block stuff. And we were able to build a little bit of defense here and hold off kind of a medium attack. I think a human player would be sending more up at the front door. And you know, you can see it's only 12 minutes. We've got tons of minerals and gas. You know, we could be building a lot more stuff. So I think that was a pretty good improvement, and kind of gives you an idea of taking an existing build and taking an existing build and making some slight improvements to get your streamline your timeline so that you can attack your opponent with a greater amount of impact. So that does it for this. Not really a replay review, but I guess a replay improvement. And we'll talk to you guys next time.